Jeremy Sockman here today with a look at a movie that surprised me. It's My Dinner with Andre from 1981 and director Louis Malle. But did old Louis serve up something worth ingesting? Let's take a look. My Dinner with Andre is about a tiny troll named Wally going for dinner with his old pal Andre. They sit in a fancy restaurant and talk. Spoiler alert, they finish eating, pay the check, and go home. No, seriously, that's it.
When I finally came in, Debbie was home from work, and I told her everything about my dinner with Andre.
Now I know that sounded like not much went on here, but I can assure you that it took almost 2 hours. I've eaten lots of dinners that took way less time to finish, at some nice restaurants even. And not once did I think about plopping a camera next to the table to record all the bon mots I uttered, and the bonbons I ate. But I guess that director Louis Malle must have thought that Wally and Andre's chat was something special. Hell, both Siskel and Ebert sure did. But why?
That, of course, poses the question of what was it about?
See, Andre loves the sound of his own voice. I'm sure you know people like that, right? But did they go on and on about experimental theater, people talking to plants, hanging out in Polish forests, Halloween pranks, and how great it is to travel the world and not have to have a real job?
We rode through the desert in camels. I gave it to this young woman who'd been in my group in Poland, who is now in New York. I went to India in the spring, Wally. 6 months later, in France.
Then there's Wally. This guy's so lame he gushes about his new electric blanket, how amazing it is to drink cold coffee that doesn't have roaches floating in it, how other actors tried to psych him out before a play, or how enjoyable it is to get your daily errands done.
I have a list of errands and responsibilities that I keep in a notebook. I enjoy going through the notebook, carrying out the responsibilities, doing the errands, then crossing them off the list.
So let me get this straight. We get to watch these two dudes, one a rich kook, the other a boring rube, barely touch their food, yak, and yak some more, and then not even notice that the restaurant had cleared out and all the staff was waiting for them to leave? Talk about oblivious of the plight of the working man. They're so caught up in themselves and their rich white guy artist problems that the rest of the world doesn't even matter. Wally can't spare a thought for starving kids in Africa, and Andre's so full of himself that he thinks he's the only one out there really living.
See, I think it's quite possible that the 1960s represented the last burst of the human being before he was extinguished. And that this is the beginning of the rest of the future now, and that from now on there'll simply be all these robots walking around.
Yikes. I don't know about you, but while watching two people eating usually just makes me hungry, My Dinner with Andre also made me mad. I just wanted these two self-absorbed, elitist blabbermouths to just shut up and taste all that expensive food, even if the portions did look tiny.
God, I didn't know they were so small.
So in the end, while I can't fault My Dinner with Andre for delivering exactly the course it advertised, I can fault the service and meal itself. These kinds of wealth-flaunting, time-wasting wannabe intellectuals are just so not my scene. And that's why I'm Jeremy Sockman, giving My Dinner with Andre a hard pass.
You can't just believe absolutely anything.
That we're living in some kind of Orwellian nightmare now, and that everything that you hear now contributes to turning you into a robot.
I don't really know what you're talking about.
Can you just talk? And when you speak